Okay, so good to have you guys. In this video, we're going to talk about list operations. All right, so as you guys remember, lists and strings share a lot of similarities. All right, so one of those similarities is that they are both a collection of items. Okay, when it comes to list operations, with strings, you can perform concatenation. You can also perform multiplication. Let me show you what I'm talking about. By using an example. All right, so I'm here in Sublime Text. I will have a string. So let's say I have my name, which I give a value of a string, Sadson. So this is a variable and this is the value of the variable. All right, so I create another variable, course. All right, so let's say I have this course that I'm taking. So I'm taking Python. Okay, so I can actually join these two, right? So in Python, I can just go on and name, use a plus sign and then the course, and then if I run this down here, you see it says sets on Python. So the way I can create space is by putting a space at the end of the first string or at the beginning of the second string. So if I'm to run this one more time, you see now there is a space. So it says sets on Python, so we can concatenate strings. This same concept works with lists. So let's say I have nums1 with a list of numbers, let's say 1, 2, and 3. And then I have a second one with nums2 with a list of numbers, let's say 4, 5, and 6. So using the same concept, just like strings, we can concatenate, we can join these two lists. So right now I can print nums1 and join it to nums2. Just like this. All right, so if I'm to run this, you see down here it creates a one joined list. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is concatenation. This is joining two strings or two lists together. The same concept works. All right, let's move on to the next concept that I'm going to look at. The next concept that I'm going to look at is multiplication. So let's say I have Sadson and I want to multiply it. Obviously, I cannot multiply a string and a string. The same concept works also for lists. I cannot multiply a list and a list, but I can multiply a list and an integer or a string and an integer. So over here, I will multiply name times 3. Let's see this, run this. You see down here, it says Sadson, Sadson, Sadson. So I'm multiplying this name by 3 times. And so this is what I get. The same thing, if I try and multiply, let's say nums, multiply by 3. Okay, so run this. You see down here it says 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so as you guys can see, there are a lot of similarities between strings and lists. All right, so let's move on and try and answer the question that follows. So here it says figure out the output of this code. We have x, which is a list with 2 numbers, 2 and 4, and then we're going to concatenate with another list. So we're going to join it with 6 and 8. When we join 2, 4, and 6, 8, we're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, right? And then we're going to print. So now let's print x position 2, and then we're going to divide by x position 0. So we're going to find an item which is on position 2 and an item which is on position 0. So let me go back to my Sublime Text and show you what they are doing here. All right, so over here we have a variable called x with these 2 numbers, like 2 and 4. This is a list with 2 numbers. X plus equals to 6.8. Let me print the x, print the x down here, save this and run. You see I'll have a list of 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so of course I concatenated these 2. And then moving on down here, now we want to print x, accessing these items. So x2, value which is on position 2, double division, it means floor division. All right, so we're going to divide it with something on x0. So we're saying which one is on x2, right? 0, 1, 2. So 6 divided by 2. If it's a floor division, obviously it's going to give us a 3. So if I'm to save this and run this, you see down here it gives me a 3. So that's the answer that we're looking for. So if we are to go back into our quiz and try and put a 3 here and check it out, that's the correct answer. All right, so in our next lesson, we're going to look at more list operations. All right, so I want to thank you for your time. For now, I'm checking out. Bye bye.